happy that I'm here and that you all are there and that we can all be together. Okay, so what we're doing today is a program called Kids Kitchen on Wheels. So as you can see, I've got my kitchen on wheels here, and it's got everything that we need to work on recipes, and we've been doing them every month for quite some time, and we really love doing it. So it's a really great opportunity for us to talk about nutrition, but also make some recipes that we can duplicate and do from home. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about fruits and vegetables and doing a fresh pineapple spring salsa. So I know we talk about fruits and vegetables all the time, and as a dietitian, my job is to make sure that I'm helping everybody stay healthy through the food that they eat. So fruits and veggies, super important for us to do in order to stay healthy, right? I know we always hear about vegetables, but the fruits are very important as well. So the goal every day is to aim for 5 fruits or vegetables every day. And I know we hear a lot about veggies, but I want to give fruits some credits too. Fruits and veggies both have 2 things, fiber and vitamins. And all the different colors of the fruits and vegetables represent a different vitamin. So even more important than making sure you get fruits and vegetables during the day is making sure you get a rainbow of colors. So I have some kiddos that I work with that really are not huge fans of certain vegetables, and that's okay. We do want to make sure we keep trying them throughout time, but making sure that we're getting a rainbow of fruits or vegetables throughout the day is really the most important thing. So if everyone can unpack their baskets, inside you'll see a bunch of different containers, and hopefully you'll see a bunch of different colors too. So we really want to emphasize that we have a bunch of different colors that we're consuming during the day. So if you look in your 2 biggest containers, you should have a bowl of pineapple, yellow fruits, a bowl with some peppers in there, red fruit. All right, so our fruits and veggies. So pineapple is yellow fruit. Pineapple is a really great source of fiber as well as vitamin C. So vitamin C to help your immune system keep those germs at bay. Same thing for our red fruits and vegetables. Lots of vitamin C, lots of antioxidants to help your body fight away all those germs and keep you healthy longer. We've also got some cilantro. So herbs are a great source of fiber as well as flavor. And then in this little bag, you'll see these little baby green onions. So green onions are also a nice way to add in some onion flavor without adding the full onion flavor that maybe some people are not such huge fans of. You should also have a wedge of lime and some salt. Okay. Our tools we're going to use today, hopefully you've been able to use some of these tools at home. Otherwise, I'm glad that we're using them today. So we've got some measuring spoons. This is what is going to help us make sure we're getting the right amount of something in our recipe. The nice part about cooking is if you like to follow a recipe, using measuring spoons is great. But cooking also gives you the opportunity to be really creative, let your artistic side out, let your taste preferences come out, and really kind of make things the way that you want them to. So we also will have a plastic knife. This, if there's any parents, grandparents, caregivers out there, plastic cutlery is actually a great thing to keep on hand and to help get littler kids into the kitchen because they are pretty safe. It's really much more difficult to hurt yourself with these. So wonderful tool to keep at home. And then this jar. So today we are going to be shaking our salsa. So everything will go in the jar. You'll be able to build in your jar once we've cut everything. Then we'll shake it up. And then when we're done, you can eat what you'd like and put the top back on. Keep it in your refrigerator for later if you need a snack. All right, so let's get started. So we're gonna open our plastic knives and we're gonna start cutting some of our fruits and vegetables for our salsa. So if any of you have eaten salsa before, you know that all of those pieces of the salsa are usually pretty small. But some people do like kind of a chunky salsa. So when you're cutting, if you can see here, you can cut your fruits and veggies into really tiny pieces and really work on your cutting skills, or you can leave them a little chunky if that's how you like your salsa normally. So I'm gonna cut a few pieces of our nice fresh pineapple. The fun part about a salsa is you can really use anything that you want. So if pineapple isn't your thing, you could do mango. I know my sister every year at Thanksgiving makes a salsa with jalapenos and cranberries because cranberries are in season. So this really can take on a bunch of different flavors. And a nice fun way to get in fruits and vegetables. I know as a dietitian, especially working with kids, I have parents all the time ask me, well, my kids don't like this, and I make vegetables every night for dinner and they don't like it. And sometimes it just takes us to use a little bit of creativity rather than, putting fruits and veggies just on a plate and expecting everyone in the family to eat them. Thinking about all the other ways that we use vegetables that we can really kind of highlight them. So things like salsa, perfect example. Or soups. I know a lot of us really like soups. Soups is pretty kid friendly and very versatile, right? We can change the flavor profile of soups a billion different ways. So that's a great opportunity to put in veggies. Blending soups also makes a big difference. So if we're using lots and lots of different veggies or beans or anything like that, taking some of that out and blending it so it's nice and smooth and creamy kind of takes some of the scaries out of putting a big bowl of vegetables in front of our kiddos. I'm gonna keep cutting. Okay, I think I've got enough pineapple. Once you feel like you've got enough pineapple in there, you can take that pineapple and put it into your jar. All right, now I'm gonna move on to the pepper. So if you take your pepper out of your bowl, and get off any of those little seeds. Now you can actually plant those seeds. So now is a great time in like late spring, early summer. You can actually just throw those out into your garden and they will grow. Okay, so little tips. When cutting your bell peppers, if you cut them long ways into little strips like this, it makes it a lot easier to then cut it into tiny little squares. I'll do one and show you. So start with strips and then dice into little pieces. So again, bell pepper is one of those veggies that lots and lots of different people like, but if it's a veggie that you're not a huge fan of, we can swap this out too. I've seen salsas made with zucchini or Mediterranean salsas made with cucumbers. Tomatoes are an easy one to add in here. So you can add in a whole rainbow of veggies and still make it the flavors that you like to eat or that your family likes to eat. So in addition to soups, things like sandwiches are a nice easy way to thinly slice veggies and put them on your normal sandwiches. Salads obviously are a really great way to get veggies in. Fruit smoothies. You can really easily add veggies into a fruit smoothie so it still tastes sweet, but you still get some of the veggies. Things like, I know they sell everywhere, like cauliflower rice. It really doesn't have much of a flavor, and if you leave it frozen and throw it into a fruit smoothie, you can't really taste it, and it's a nice, easy way to get in some of those cruciferous vegetables. All right, I have my peppers all cut up, so I'm gonna add that into the salsa. So the other nice thing about making a salsa, especially when you're your own chef, is you can add in as much or as little of something as you'd like. So if you really like peppers, add the whole thing in. If you like peppers, but you're not a huge fan of peppers, add a little bit in there. You can kind of make this salsa all your own. Okay, next, I'm gonna take our green onions out of the bag. And green onions are really nice. They're very mild. You can also keep growing them. So if you buy them from the store and you use up all of the green part and you get down to the white part, you can take that furry root end of the white part and stick it in a little cup of water, and new little green shoots will come out. So you'll never have to buy green onions ever again. But they're nice and mild, so we'll use just the green part. And you can try making little slices of it with your knife. This is really gonna add some savory flavor to your salsa. So it'll help balance the pineapple in your salsa. And this one's super tricky to cut with a plastic knife. So don't worry about them not looking overly beautiful. Honestly, in my house, we use kid-safe scissors on green onions, and that way everyone can just snip, snip, snip all the way down, and it makes things much easier than cutting them. This is a test of patience here, your cutting skills on a green onion with a plastic knife, but I'm sure you're all doing fantastic, better than what I'm doing here. I'm spoiled with my scissors at home. And I really like green onion flavor. Onions are also really great. They're actually act as like an antimicrobial or an anti-germ in your body, which is pretty cool. Onions, green onions, regular onions, garlic, they all sort of act like an antibacterial soap on your insides. So I like to use lots of onions. And if you're at home and you're using regular onions, throwing your onion in the freezer will help make it so you don't cry so much while you're cutting it. Making it really super cold helps with that. And then afterwards, putting some lemon juice on your hands to kind of get rid of that oniony scent that gets left behind. Okay, hopefully everyone did okay with cutting the green onions. And next we're going to use some cilantro. So cilantro is another component to this that some people really, really like and some people don't like at all. And actually, it's genetic whether you like cilantro or not. So most likely if mom and dad like cilantro, you probably also like cilantro. But some people find that cilantro has like a soapy flavor, and that's totally genetic. You can't change that. So for this one, add in as much or as little as you would like. I like cilantro, so I'm gonna add in a whole bunch of cilantro, but you choose how much you would like in there. So these next ingredients are also gonna be just like your cilantro. You're gonna add in as much or as little as you'd like. So this is probably a little smaller than what's on your recipe card since we're making a smaller version of this, but this is a little bit of olive oil, and the olive oil just helps bring all of those flavors together and make them mush together and become nice and happy together. So we're gonna drizzle that in there. Olive oil is also really good for your heart. Very high in omega-3s, helps keep all of your blood vessels and your arteries really nice and squeaky clean. So olive oil is a great choice of cooking oil. If you're at home and you're trying to decide what oil you should be cooking with, olive oil is a really great choice. If you are doing really high heat cooking, avocado oil is your best option. Even for grilling, if you need to grill something, you rub the grill grates with avocado oil. It's a really nice one to keep things from sticking because you can use it at really high temperatures. So just like the other ingredients, we're gonna get to be a little creative, and you get to decide how much salt you'd like in there. I usually put like a little bit of a pinch. This isn't a huge container, but if you like more salt, add a little more. The nice thing is once we shake up our salsas, you can taste a little bit of it and decide if you need more. But just remember, you can always add more, you can't take it out. So start small and we can always add more. Okay, last ingredient, a little juice in there, is our lime. So the lime actually helps break down some of the ingredients so that they kind of come together again and all of those flavors come together. Citrus foods are also really high in vitamin C, so this whole bowl is like a big germ-fighting bowl of salsa goodness. So we're gonna add in the lime juice. Again, add in as much or as little as you would like. And that is it for putting it together. So now is our time to exercise, your exercise for the day. We're going to put the lid on, make sure the lid is on nice and tight, and then we're just gonna give it a little bit of a shake. Mix it all up in there, and really the harder you're able to shake it, the more those flavors are gonna come together because it's gonna help get some of those juices out of the pineapple and get all of those flavors nice and mixed together, get the salt all mixed in there and the lime juice on all of the pieces. And that, my friends, is it. So beautiful, beautiful pineapple salsa. So many different colors. So for your 5 servings of fruits and veggies a day, now we've covered 3 colors of the rainbow. We have some greens and some reds and some yellows. So all of you are already on a great start to your day for your 5 a day. Don't forget your chips are on the side. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had fun. Hopefully next time we'll be able to do it in person.